Hey everybody, welcome back for another video. We're going to talk about a real turn versus a fake turn in the backswing and what you can do to spot yourself and to correct yourself to make sure we turn properly in the backswing to give ourselves the best chance at making a successful downswing and hit a successful golf shot. So typically what I see with most amateur golfers is when they make their backswings, they don't turn much. They feel like they return because they're making a very full swing, clubs up parallel, but you can see I'm not really turned because you can't see the back of my back, you can't see the back of my trail shoulder. You can also see my hips. When I set up, well, let's use my pelvis for example. When I set up, my pelvis is square at the ball. If I turn, my pelvis should start facing behind the ball towards or away from the target. But if I make a typical swing that most amateurs show up to my lessons doing, they pick up their hands first, arms fold, wrist hinge. They look like they've turned because they make a full swing, but they haven't turned at all. So what we want to make sure we do is kill all of that, kill the wrist hinge, kill the arm fold for now if this is something you struggle with doing, so that we force the most rotation. By keeping my arm straight, my wrist not hinge, I'm now forced to turn my body to move my arms, as you can see. If I try to keep a swing feeling like my arm stays straight with no hinge, you see how much more I'm turned now? Now my pelvis, my hips have to turn. Now you can see my pelvis pointing way away from the target. That gives me more range in my upper body to turn. You guys can probably see the back of my back now. And now I'm super turned with lots of range, with way less arm swing. This is the arm swing, this is way less arm swing. By feeling way less arm swing and way less hinge, now we have to activate and engage other parts of the muscle to get to that same spot, which will force us to turn way more. So we want to make sure to turn properly. Trail hip turns back towards that wall, let's say. By doing so, my trail leg loses flex and straightens, it doesn't lock out. My pelvis starts turning way behind the ball, away from the target, so that my chest can turn away from my target, so that when I'm at the top, from the face-on view, you should be able to see some more of my back, some more of my trail shoulder. If you don't turn properly, what generally people see is the trail leg is still flexed, the pelvis is still facing somewhere in this direction, is not facing away from the target, and you can't see much of my back at all, okay? So this is a typical swing that most amateurs who struggle with turning make, where they just move but they don't turn. Okay, and then someone who turns better, letting their hips turn freely, the chest to turn freely, with less arm swing, will look like. You guys can see way more turn from this face-on spot. So make sure you guys if you're someone who struggles with turning, try to do things to promote the most turn. By removing the arm swing, by removing the trail arm fold, by removing the wrist hinge, that's going to force you to really turn your chest, to really turn your hips, so that you increase that range, and then you can add that arm fold and add the hinge back in later when you've turned properly and turned more appropriately. So hopefully that makes sense. Any questions, leave in the comments below, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching, everybody.